Howdy y'all, and welcome back to the channel. It is so great to have y'all here. It is so great to be back. But first things first, I apologize for the hiatus. I know it has been a long while, but life can be life can be lit. Life can also not be lit is essentially what I'm trying to say. Life is a bit of a roller coaster, right? You got them high highs and low lows, and life's been a little bit of that roller coaster for me lately. Sometimes, you throw a little corkscrew in there, you have a few fun loop-de-loops and stuff like that, but overall, analogy aside, life has been life, and YouTube kind of got sent to the back burner for me. But no longer are we on the back burner for YouTube. I am back and reinvigorated and very excited to continue in on this fashion too much talking YouTube channel, podcast, I don't know, insert whatever term you prefer here. I also don't know if y'all noticed, but the camera is hopefully better. I'm fingers crossed that this is working well because I'm trying a new method of recording. I'm using my camera, my vlog camera that I got, for vlogging when I went to Italy, if you've seen those. And if you haven't, feel free to go give them a look, go give them a little watch, maybe a little thumbs up, maybe a comment, I don't know, if you want to do it, if you want it. But that being said, I am trying a new setup, so hopefully it looks a little bit more cinematic. I don't know if this will work out. I'm just fingers crossed, so please bear with me while I try to figure out this new setup. All right, ladies and gents, let's get serious, right? Do a little zoom in. This is our serious zoom in, okay? Let's do the video like this. This is our serious close-up because today we're going to be talking about a very, very important topic to fashion. And as per usual on this channel, I would like to start by proposing a question in the form of a statement that people say. A little bit convoluted, it'll make sense in a second. One of the number one things that I see on the internet in regards to fashion is people are constantly saying that people with style dress for themselves and their identity instead of dressing for others, and that's what makes them stylish. In other words, don't dress for others, dress for yourself. Now that sounds amazing, right? But just think about it for a second, okay? The phrase dress for yourself. What the hell does that even mean? Can somebody, show of hands, yes, you in the back, can you explain to me what it means to dress for yourself? Yes, no, dressing for yourself. No, you can't. No, okay, that's perfectly fine because that's the topic of today's lesson. Okay, what does it mean to dress for yourself? How do you dress for yourself? This very common internet fashion buzzword. Set of buzzwords, phrase. A lot of times people are saying this phrase to people who are very new to fashion, people who are trying to look on how to expand their fashion, how to get better how to improve and find their personal style. And so in order to do that, they say you have to dress authentically. But what does it mean to dress authentically to yourself if you're trying to figure out what your style is right now? How do you even know what's authentic? It's like a catch-22, right? Dress for yourself in order to have your personal style. But in order to dress for yourself, you need to have your personal style. It's just catch-22. And herein lies something that I think a lot of people miss, is that there's a layer underneath that question. The top layer question being, how do I dress authentically for myself if I don't know my personal style yet? But the bottom layer being the real truth. And that is that you can only dress for yourself based on the version of yourself that you understand right now. And the catch of that is that will also change over time. Think of it like this. Okay, imagine you're back in kindergarten, first grade or something, okay? You're taking your math portion for the day, which is amazing. Everybody hates math. Now, up to this point, you've learned about addition and subtraction. You know how to add numbers and you know how to subtract numbers. It's like doing those little tables. Remember you used to have those little tables with the math problems, like 6 plus 5, 4 plus 7 or something. You try to like add everything and subtract everything, and everybody would race. I remember racing. It was so much fun. Honestly, low-key miss that. That was like one of the only times in my life I remember feeling like, yeah, this is for me. I'm good at this. Of course, it's just basic subtraction and addition, but I digress. Your teacher says, hey, there's a test on Friday. There's a math test on Friday. And you say, okay, perfect. Let me get my addition and my subtraction down. So you study all week, you learn your addition, you learn your subtraction. You get to Friday and you get the test, and you're going through the test and you say, oh, perfect. I understand. This is easy. This is 2 plus 3. This is 6 plus 7. And then you see your subtraction, 10 minus 6, 5 minus 4, and you're flying through this this test. You're thinking, oh, I feel great. I know how to do all this. And then all of a sudden you get to a problem and you're like, wait a minute, what is this symbol? It looks like a sideways plus sign. Like, what does this mean? Like, is this like a typo? So in your head, you think, well, it kind of looks like an addition sign. So I guess maybe I'm supposed to add these numbers. So you go on and you add the numbers. You keep going down the test and then you see a couple more of those and you just figure, okay, I guess it's just like, it's a weird way to add. I should just add these numbers. And then you get to another sign and you think, well, this is really weird. This looks like a subtraction sign, but now there's some dots around it. Like, what's that about? I guess maybe I subtract. I mean, they look kind of similar, right? So then you go to all these problems and you start subtracting. And by the end of the test, you think, you know what? I really nailed my addition and subtraction. I'm not really sure what those weird symbols were, but like, I think it makes sense that it was an addition and subtraction problem because that's what I know so far. The teacher hands you back your test the next Wednesday and you see it and you think, wait, what in the world? How did I get these problems wrong? All these problems with these strange symbols. And your teacher explains, oh, well, you were actually supposed to multiply for that question. You're supposed to divide for that question. In the kid's mind, is it right for him to be upset with himself for not getting those questions right? Regardless of whether he is or not upset with himself, it's completely not justified for him to be angry that he missed the problem. Unless, of course, like the teacher actually counts it towards the final grade, which for the sake of the analogy, we'll just say, oh, those were all non-factors in the final grade, right? I only graded you on the addition and subtraction portions of the test. The rest was just, I don't know, the part where this analogy breaks down. Back to the main point, the kid can't be mad at himself for missing these questions because he had no prior knowledge of how to do it. In essence, he did the best that he could with the knowledge that was available to him at that time. And as the kid continues to learn math, eventually he will learn multiplication, eventually he will learn division, and he'll be able to do those problems and so on and so forth. Fashion is a journey very similar to that, where maybe it's not as linear, but it's about learning and progressing and moving forward at the pace with which, one, you're comfortable, and two, with which you're able to use the knowledge that you currently have available to you. And by knowledge, what I mean is the experience that you've had either putting clothes and outfits on your own body and saying, oh, I like this, I don't like this, figuring out what you personally like, maybe seeing videos or tips and saying, oh, I like these colors together, or I like this style of clothing, I like this fit. That's what I mean by knowledge, is basically the experience that you have in deciding what you like and don't like up to that point. And for everybody, that's a different amount of progression. Sometimes it progresses slower, sometimes it progresses faster. Some people have a harder time determining what they like, what they dislike. Like I said, fashion is a journey that's different for everybody. So when you look at your outfits in the current state, the important part isn't whether or not you've arrived at your true sense of personal style yet, or even a fit that truly encapsulates who you are as a person. The important part is that you are dressing the best that you can with the knowledge that you have of yourself at the time, the knowledge you have of yourself and of fashion. For example, for some people, they're going to learn that fashion is a lot about practicality for them, right? It's about, hey, what can I wear that I think looks good, but is also going to be practical to my daily life? Maybe you find out that you're a little bit more on the comfort side. Maybe this isn't as practical for me, but I feel more comfortable in it. Or maybe it literally like physically feels softer on my skin, or, whatever, insert that. Or for some other people, fashion is going to be completely not practical. It's just going to be, hey, this is what I enjoy wearing. And like, yeah, it's freezing cold outside, but I'm in this pair of shorts that I really love. Or maybe it's burning hot outside, but I still have this jacket on. I still have a couple layers on because I just love it. I got a text, sorry. Now, all of these are great things, but I would argue that there's something even more important to your personal fashion journey, aka dressing for yourself. I think one of the number one contributors to pushing you along the path of dressing for yourself, right, becoming more authentically who you are in terms of fashion, is actually who you are outside of fashion, your tastes and your hobbies outside of fashion. Because the most important part of dressing for yourself is the yourself part. And in order to dress for yourself, you have to know and understand yourself, your likes and your dislikes, the things that you gravitate towards, the things that make you feel safe, the things that make you feel uncomfortable. And a lot of that just comes with growing up and becoming an adult and, just learning more and more about yourself and bringing self-awareness into the situation and understanding who you are as a person. In addition to that, a lot of it has to do with your tastes and your hobbies. In other words, you need to explore things outside of just fashion. And fashion can be a big thing for you. It could be the number one thing in your life. And if that's the case for you, then and that's amazing. But every part of you is influenced by every other part of you, meaning that even if fashion is your number one, you're still getting influences from your friends, from your taste in music, the movies that you like, maybe the fact that you like to go surfing or go play beach volleyball, or maybe that you just like to have beers with your coworkers and go play golf, right? Some people, maybe it's Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe that's something that you really, really love to do. But the point is that all of that has an impact on who you are and the lens through which you view fashion, even if that's the number one thing that you enjoy doing in life or enjoy about life. So I'd argue that the more things that you learn about yourself outside of fashion, those are the things that will in turn lead you to learn how to dress for yourself. Those golden words that are pasted everywhere. In summary, real personal style, really dressing for yourself, comes from your tastes, and tastes comes from your life. Music, films, art, books, places you love, people you admire, all of that is connected together. And as your taste grows, your style grows along with it. Sometimes you notice it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just look back and you think, dang, I've come so far and I haven't even really thought about my fashion that much. This is just a byproduct of my life. Now, especially for my audience specifically, a lot of y'all are still very young, right? Like my age demographics are still very young adults. A lot of you are still, not a lot of you, all of you are still becoming who you are, who you're meant to be. I'm still on that journey too. I'm about to turn 27 tomorrow, actually. Wow, tomorrow, that's kind of funny to think about. I'm turning 27 tomorrow and I still feel like I'm just right on that edge of, wow, I kind of know a little bit about myself, but I'm learning so much more. And frankly, that continues through your whole life. So to be completely honest, because we are still learning and growing, it would be silly to think that your style should already be perfect or perfectly formed, or that when all these people are yelling at you to dress for yourself, you should know exactly what that means or how to do it. At this stage in your life, and I really want this message to stick with you the most. This is the point of the whole video. At this stage of your life, just dress the best that you can with the version of yourself that you understand in this moment. And that, my friends, is what dressing for yourself means. Let's switch back to non-serious mode here. Look at this. Isn't this? Oh, nope, that's the wrong way. Oh. Someone's upstairs. Isn't this fun? I can zoom out on this camera. Isn't that so much fun? Now that we're back to non-serious mode, thank y'all for watching and sticking along. I always appreciate y'all watching, and I hope that this video provided some valuable insights to a lot of you, because I know that fashion can be scary. It can be intimidating, especially because we're all trapped in these echo chambers. If you really love fashion, which I assume that's why you're on my page, but a lot of us can get trapped in these echo chambers where we see these people who have been honing their personal style and who they are, their own personalities, who they are as people for years and years on end. Like most of your most of your favorite fashion influencers are, you'll notice that a lot of them are in their mid to late 20s and they've had a lot of time to figure out their style and who they are. And you know, there's obviously sometimes the exception of people who are a little bit younger who also have a good sense of personal style, but even then I'd say that they're still very close, or not close, they're not very far on the journey and they have a lot more to go. And I guarantee if you look at their style, 6 or 7, oh God, oh no, oh no, oh no, no, no. You know, side point, I've realized, my friends and I've all realized how much we say 6, 7, like how much that's like a normal part of life. Like whenever you're looking for any two numbers, you're just like, oh yeah, it's about like 6 or 7. Like, oh, it's everything. I've never noticed how much we say that. It's ridiculous. Frankly, it's ridiculous. Anyways, I digress, and also completely forgot my point. Oh, right. A lot of the people who you admire in fashion are already a little bit further along their journey of self-discovery, and honestly, the people with the best fashion are the people who are like senior citizens at this point. Like you'll see them and you'll look at their fashion, people in like their 60s or 70s who have been honing their style for decades. They just know who they are. They know who they are. They got it unlocked, and that means that their style also fits that and you know, follow suit. Either way, I hope you got something out of this video. I'm very excited to be back on YouTube, and I love and I'm so thankful for y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed set of holidays, and as always, I will see you in the next video. But till then, I love y'all so much. I'll see ya in the next one, and deuces. Do I use that outro on YouTube? I don't even know, to be honest.